So, because my internet, I don't know. I think maybe there's something wrong with my microphone. Skype was like, oh, because like I was trying to like troubleshoot, and it was like, oh, maybe there's something wrong with your microphone. I don't think there's anything wrong with my microphone. I think it's the internet connection, but when I don't know. So yeah, so I had a delicious breakfast this morning at this place I went to yesterday called the Muffin Man, and really good food. And I mean, well, I've stopped for my own sake. I've stopped doing like the pound to US dollar conversion because it's just really depressing. Like how much my breakfast cost in US dollars. But that is just the norm. I mean, it was still less than what the hotel wanted to charge me. And it was scrambled eggs, a sausage, a piece of like legit real bacon, baked beans, and coffee, orange juice, like freshly squeezed orange juice, and toast for £9. And the hotel for like a basic breakfast wanted to charge me 11. So I'm just like, no. So that was delicious. And then I started my fiasco with the post office. And yeah, so packed it all up. Guy tells me it's overweight. And I was like, does it need a bigger box? Oh, no, no. All of our boxes cannot exceed 2 kilograms. What kind of nonsense is this? And I was like, okay. He's like, so you can either pay the £60 or you can make it lighter and pack it all up again and try that again. And if it's within the 2 kilograms, then we can give you tracking and it won't be too bad. But when you seal it up again, you're gonna have to buy tape because we don't have any tape you can use. I'm just like, actually, the whole time this is going on, I'm thinking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy with those big, like, Jabba the Hutt-like creatures and how they're all bureaucratic and you can't get anything done. That's what I was thinking about the whole entire time. And so I was like, okay, fine. So I took out my coffee mug, my Starbucks thermos thing that I bought in Vienna. It's like, fine, I'll just put this in my backpack. And it was within the 2 kilograms then. I was like, this is nonsense. Then I had to go get some tape. I got this whole roll of tape for like £3 that I'm probably gonna leave here just so we could pack it all up. And this was the best part. I was like, well, do you have some scissors that I can use to cut it? And I swore if he said, no, you're going to have to buy scissors, I was going to walk out of that place. But he's like, oh no, we have scissors, but they don't work very well. And I'm just like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. So, and he's like, but be careful how much tape you put on because you're like right on the cusp and we don't want you to go over with the weight if you put too much tape on. And I was like, fine. And so I put like just like the bare minimum of like tape like on the sides and everything. And he's like, then when he weighs and puts the sticker on everything, he's like, well, we can still spare a few grams, so let's put some more tape on. And I'm just like, oh, fine. I paid for it. I got the tracking reference, whatever. I should find that because it's somewhere in my backpack. I just don't know where. Then he sent me to this other lady so I could buy stamps, and so I got the Queen's Jubilee stamp collection. I hope Uncle Gary doesn't mind. That seemed to be like the only ones they had. But they're collectible, right? I don't know. So I finally got out of there. And where did I go? Knightsbridge. Oh, then I went to Harrods, which was not too far on the um, underground thing. I keep wanting to call it an U-Bahn, but that would probably make them angry. Um, and yes, it was funny because there were some people that were like in the store like near like the like glass sculptures and stuff taking pictures with the sculptures, and I was thinking to myself, tisk tisk tisk, and the lady came over and she's like, I'm sorry, you can't take photographs. I'm just like, really, people, show some class. I did not take any pictures of the inside of the store because I didn't want to look like a tourist. But yeah, so I ended up finding just a little something. I mean, I really wanted to get you some of these dragons, but I don't have £2,000 to spare, so I hope you'll be okay with that. Um, and so yeah, and then I got lost in the store because it was very confusing, like how to get back out, because there's like all these different levels and all the different. It was weird. And then after that, I was like, well, I could go to the Sherlock Holmes Museum, but I don't really want to go, and it wasn't on my London pass, whatever. So then I came back to my area because I really wasn't feeling like going too far and sitting on the subway. So I grabbed a little sandwich, or it was actually really good. It was a wrap with prawns, like shrimp and like a chili sauce. It was really good. And I went over to Kensington Gardens and I sat there on a bench and I ate lunch. And then I went into the Kensington Palace, which I didn't realize, but that was originally where, if I understand correctly, Princess Diana lived. And so they had like a temporary little, tiny little like exhibition for her. So there were some of the dresses that she wore, which were really pretty, and just some sort of like photographs of her along the years, and like there was few photographs with her and her sons, and it was so sad. So I didn't stay in there too long. And then the other exhibitions were the King's State Apartments, and then the Queen's State Apartments, and then this little exhibition because I guess for the Queen Elizabeth II's Jubilee, they had this um, temporary exhibition for like that was sort of like looking back on Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, like back in the 1800, 1900, I don't even know, a long time ago. So I saw that, and then the state apartments were very pretty, and it was very nice. I mean, it was sort of like low key. I mean, there were definitely people in there, but it was nowhere near as crazy as some of the other places I went, um, which was good because I was really not feeling like people. And then I went out, and there's like a big pond lake thing behind Kensington Palace. So I just walked around that. Yeah, I got some exercise. There were a lot of swans. I've never seen so many swans in one place. And then it was really funny because somebody brought like must have been bread or something because I was like on one end of the pond lake thing and they were on the other, and you just saw all these swans like gliding across the pond. It kind of reminded me of like the Death Eaters like going across the lake in Hogwarts because it was kind of spooky because they're all just like they're not flying, they're swimming, but they're like swans everywhere swimming in this one direction, and it was weird. And swans are big when you get up close to them. Oh my gosh. I kind of wanted to like go take a picture with one of them, but I was afraid it was going to bite me. Um, and then I saw these, they must have been geese because they were bigger than ducks. But it was like a little family, and it must have been like a mama duck and a daddy mama goose and a daddy goose and all these little baby geese, and they were so cute. And so they were like up on land eating because some guy was feeding them, and then they all went to the water. But this one baby goose got separated, and it was like, Mama Goose. Well, it wasn't actually squealing, but that would be really cute. And I almost thought I was going to cry because it got separated, and then the swans were like almost like picking on it. And so I didn't leave. I stood there because I was determined that if the swan started like really picking on it, like going at it, I was going to chase them away and like help reunite the baby goose with its family. But it was keeping calm. It was like, that's okay, like whatever, I'll just walk over here so you can't get me. And then finally, like, it would kind of, like, go a little toward the water, and the swan would be like, nah. And finally, it got into the water, and it, like, was able to, like, avoid some more swans who were like, don't come here. And, so it was reunited with the family, and I was like, okay, good, I can, like, walk on now, because I was totally going to come to its rescue. And then this guy was like, can you take my picture with this bird? And I was like, okay. I mean, it wasn't even like a pretty bird. It was this tiny little black thing with a little white spot on its head. And I was like, sure. And he just like handed me his iPhone. And I was like, okay. So I took the picture and I'm like, yeah, okay. So, let me know if you like it. I can take another one. He's like, oh, that's good. But it's a little dark. So can you take a picture of me over here? And I was just like, yeah, sure. Thinking to myself, what have I gotten myself roped into? And he was talking really fast. I would have guessed he was like Indian or of that region, but he was talking so fast, and he said something about like catching up on photos, and I'm like, yeah, uh-huh. And he's like, so what are you doing here? And I'm like, vacationing, like whatever. And he was like, oh, he's like, how long have you been here? And I'm like, few days. And he's like, so you haven't seen the sun here? And I'm like, no, but that's okay. I go to school in Seattle, so it's always rainy there too. He's like, yeah. He's like, but you're probably cursing. You're probably thinking, I should have gone to California for vacation or something. And I was like, well, I'm from California. And he's like, oh. And I'm just thinking to myself, please, can we get this over with so I can leave?